Good evening, citizens. This is Alan, host of the radio talk show Alan After Dark. And this is a message to our global brothers and sisters, our citizenry, the citizens who make a difference in our world. I currently live in a small western town of 100,000 people. That may seem like a lot, but here in this particular part of the western United States is a bastion of static lives, filled with people with a form of ambiguous attitudes towards their fellow man. And like in all populous areas, there are towns within towns, the haves and the have-mores, and then the others, those people. And scattered throughout this area are encampments of American refugees, homeless, families, women and men that dot the shadows of our countryside, let alone dot the shadows of our human mind. In this town of 100,000, there are over 1,600 people that are homeless, and that, my friends, is unacceptable. They are not human litter, and I'm not going to fog your mind with statistics that can be parroted in any Salvation Army poster. But what I can say about this area is this. There are many young adults who are homeless because they were discarded by their parents for the most appalling reasons. These American refugees are not lazy people. They are simply unemployed. And that in itself doesn't indicate laziness. Many of these American refugees are neither drug addicts nor alcoholics, while close to half of adult homeless people currently struggle with newfound addictions to self-medicate due to their suffering. They didn't struggle with addictions in the past, and that the majority of the American refugees do not have or never had a drug or alcohol problem. And this is the kicker. Most of these citizens are not criminals, and many of those who are technically criminals have only committed what are called status crimes. In this part of the crazy world, a status crime includes getting arrested for loitering, sleeping in public, or trespassing. In other words, they are criminals by just being homeless. In this senseless and irrational state of society, it pulses as a result of the mirage that we call capitalism. We pretend there are winners and losers, winners celebrated and losers flushed into obscurity. This model of society is nothing more than an illusion that is outmoded and anchored in a jaded past. The illusion of capitalism creates a mass neurosis throughout the American landscape. People thinking that their life is washed up even in high school because they didn't receive the grade they hoped for, or having their business outsourced by a faceless hedge fund official, as in the case in Freeport, Illinois, by the current Republican candidate for the presidency of the United States. And when pushed to the limit of this senseless competition from birth, many people explode in anger and slash their rage by shooting their co-workers or members of their congregation, or unloading rounds in a movie theater. We are surrounded by neurosis on every front. It's all about the past, the living dead within the circle of society. We have been trained to live our prejudice because this society is a society that is past-oriented. As a child of this land, we have all been trained and indoctrinated into our prejudice. This is exactly how the disease of prejudice and even the diseases of the body are passed from one generation to another. Yet, we call the past our culture, our traditions, and even our religion. They have created a capitalistic Christ. And if you look close enough, you will immediately see this hypocrisy. And most importantly, this mediocrity. But beware, the older the culture, the more cunning it becomes. And lies are meant for nothing more than control. Beware of people with smiles and flowers. For the bigger the front, the bigger the back. The past is dead, and to carry the past is to be dead also. And this death has gone into our blood, into our bones, and into the marrow of American life. I do not have to survive in this world by living a lie. There is a very definitive reason for us to live the words, "Be here now." With a past-oriented mentality, it's easy to see the homeless as shiftless, lazy, drug-infested layabouts. But I see them for what they are, as American refugees. And this is why I say the homeless of America should be granted refugee status. And then, perhaps, creative and helpful attention could come their way. So this is what we do at Allen After Dark. We are not a foundation, nor are we a non-profit. We simply buy sweaters and distribute them to people who are cold. We don't ask other people or state-run organizations for permission. We just simply buy sweaters and hand them out to the American refugees because it's now cold outside. It's simply my chutzpah. My spirit voices itself through chutzpah. It's the now-ness of truth through action. We have a duty to act and start to repair the world one person and one day at a time. And this is a good place to start. You can help by doing this in your part of the world. If not sweaters, then how about serving food, or teaching a class, or digging a well? We don't need anyone's permission to act. Just simply act. If you'd like to help us buy a sweater for one of our local American refugees, just email me at allen@allenafterdark.com, and I'll get back to you with the details. So fair fallen, my friends. Fair fallen.